Which version of Dragon Ball Z is better? The Dragon Ball Z Orange Bricks? The Dragon Ball Z Dragon Box? Or is it Dragon Ball Z Kai on Blu-ray and DVD? I'm going to be talking about the Dragon Ball Z season sets or Orange Bricks. And I'm going to explain to you people out there that's extremely misinformed of what high definition really is. As most Dragon Ball Z fans know, the Dragon Ball Z Orange Brick box sets were cropped to 16:9 for widescreen televisions to give this widescreen movie HD kind of feel. And of course, you know, there's some people that think that Dragon Ball Z, a series that was produced in 1989 to 1996, was meant for widescreen, and it really wasn't. You see, Funimation did crop the series, and you are losing 20% of the original footage. Dragon Ball Z is a 4:3 anime series. You got people out there that bitch and complain and stuff, you know, saying that it doesn't matter about the hair and the mouths and stuff getting cut off and certain symbols and signs and stuff. Well, you know what? It does matter. 20% of footage loss does matter if you're a hardcore Dragon Ball Z fan. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to accept a mediocre product. You're not supposed to accept a product that was rushed. You know what I'm saying? How can you call yourself a hardcore Dragon Ball Z fan? Because you're not. In my opinion, you are a casual fan. You want the series cheap and affordable, you get what you pay for. High definition HD is only for HD DVD, high definition digital video discs, or Blu-ray discs. DVDs cannot be HD. The highest video quality for DVDs is 480p and 480i. I think it's 480p. It doesn't go to 1080p and it doesn't go to 720p. It can be upscaled with a Blu-ray player or a PS3 to near HD-like quality, but these discs are not high definition. This is not a high definition remaster, okay? The difference between a real high definition remaster and a Fox cropped remaster is extremely vast and different. Take for example, the Tenchi Muyo Blu-rays, the Yu Yu Hakusho Blu-rays, and the Card Captor Sakura Blu-rays. Those Blu-ray discs are high definition. Those shows are 4:3. They were originally animated in 4:3. But they're on Blu-ray. Just because it's on Blu-ray, you know what I'm saying, doesn't mean it has to be cropped to 16:9. That is not the original show's format. So to all you people that say, oh, in order for it to be remastered, it had to be cut, you know, from the top and the bottom. That's fucking retarded. It's a retarded argument. You're misinformed what HD really is. HD is not 16:9. HD is high definition. 16:9 is an aspect ratio. Aspect ratio. Not a fucking native resolution, not a television resolution. These DVDs are not high definition. They're standard def, but they happen to be in 16:9 to fit your televisions. Come on now, people, get it through your fucking heads. The remastering process done on the Dragon Ball Z season sets could have been a good idea as far as grain removal and such, and you know, giving a better picture quality. But the picture ended up being saturated as fuck, along with the fact that because of the grain removal being set way too high, the DNR-VR, whatever you want to call it, I think it's digital noise reduction, something like that. It caused missing lines, missing teeth, heavy shaking scenes, characters' faces disappear and stuff, you know, teeth disappear, mouths disappear, eyebrows disappear. It's very annoying and it destroys the original footage. There's no detail in characters' armor anymore. There's no detail in the Kamehameha waves. Everything is just destroyed completely. You know what I'm saying? It may look like the picture is better, but it really is not. Pros and cons. Pro, cheap price, 30 episodes or more on each set. Cons, awful remastering quality, digital video noise reduction, 16:9 cropping of the original 4:3 picture, and grain removal with missing lines and missing detail. Now, if you can get past all that, then these Dragon Ball Z Orange Brick box sets are for you. Not to mention it has the Bruce Faulconer background music. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the Dragon Ball Z Dragon Box for America. As most fans should know, if they don't know, the Dragon Ball Z Dragonboxes are the Japanese remaster done way back in 2003, where Toei Animations themselves remastered Dragon Ball Z frame by frame restoration, cleaned up the footage, cleaned up the audio a little bit, and released them in these two very huge box sets. And they were sold for like a lot of money, like I think $3,000 a pop, maybe more than that, 3,000, 8,000, I forgot. So everybody thought Funimation wasn't going to release the Dragonboxes when it came out with these orange brick box sets. But November of 2009, Funimation released the Dragon Ball Z Dragonbox, the American version. Now instead of 2 box sets, Funimation had to size them down to 7 box sets to make the price a lot cheaper, which I think was an extremely good idea. It comes in a very high quality box art. It's basically reminiscent of chipboard box sets, my favorite type of packaging. And you know, the DVDs come in these book-like cases, as you can see, with fantastic cover art. The only thing I don't like about the packaging is the stacked discs. But yeah, it's still decent packaging. You know, you get what you pay for, you know what I'm saying? Very high quality. And it also comes with the Dragon Ball Z Dragon Book, with lots of information, episode titles, voice actor information, you know, characters and stuff, drawings, and you know, lots of trivia, all kind of stuff, all kind of Dragon Ball related material. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the Dragonboxes are freaking awesome. You know, I'm glad I finally picked up my copies. You know, and the remastering process is so fantastic, way better than the orange bricks, I have to say. And watching the dub with the original Japanese music is just much better in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It sounds a lot better. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a Bruce Faulconer fan, but I'm now starting to understand that the music originally created for the series fits way better than the Bruce Faulconer music. But I'm still going to listen to the Bruce Faulconer track. There's some badass tracks on there. You can't deny that. But yes, the Dragonboxes also have the original episode previews that were never dubbed. The episode preview song Toonami was Funimation created. So those are not the previews that's on this box set. The original episode previews where each character talks. You know, it's not just the narrator reciting what's going to happen next time on Dragon Ball Z. So I like that little special touch. So you can only watch the next episode previews if you watch the original Japanese version. The Japanese version is the default track. When you put the disc in your DVD player or Blu-ray player, it will play the Japanese version with the subtitles. Pros and cons. Pro: great frame-by-frame remastering process from Japan's 2003 Dragonbox footage. Great high-quality packaging. Original openings, endings, and credits and animations, Japanese text, and next episode previews. This box set does have the English dub, so don't worry about that for all you English dub fans. But the con for it is no Bruce Faulconer background music. That's right, no Bruce Faulconer background music. If you're going to watch the dub on the Dragonboxes, you have to watch it with the original Japanese soundtrack. This may be a con for some of you guys out there that like the English background music. I am a fan of the Bruce Faulconer music, but since I have the orange bricks, I can watch those episodes for the nostalgic Bruce Faulconer music on those box sets. But if I want to watch Dragon Ball Z in its original form, Japanese or dub with Japanese music, that is the original way it's supposed to be done anyway. The music was never supposed to be created anyway. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is Dragon Ball Z Kai on Blu-ray and DVD, whatever versions you picked up and prefer. Now, the difference between Dragon Ball Z, Dragonbox season sets, and Kai is that Kai is also another Dragon Ball Z remaster. It is a, I would say, true to the manga faithful version of Dragon Ball Z with a couple filler instances here and there. The remastering process uses the same old Dragon Ball Z footage, and it cuts out the filler. There's re-recorded dialogue, re-recorded music, and re-recorded sound effects, I believe. There's brand new openings and ending themes and next episode previews as well. You know, and the remastering process is very, very good. You know what I'm saying? It looks great watching Dragon Ball Z on Blu-ray. It's probably the only chance we're going to be able to watch the series on Blu-ray, seeing how we have the Dragonboxes and the season sets. And so this is the Blu-ray version if you want the Blu-ray version. So Dragon Ball Z Kai, let's get this straight. Dragon Ball Z Kai is a 16:9 anime series only on Japanese television standards. This series is originally in 4:3 because it uses the original Dragon Ball Z footage. Dragon Ball Z Kai is not meant to be 16:9 HD. Remember, HD is a resolution, 16:9 is an aspect ratio. Aspect ratio. Get it through your heads, people. Dragon Ball Z Kai Japanese Blu-rays and American Blu-rays are 4:3, like it's supposed to be. The Japanese TV or DVD versions are 16:9, just like the Japanese TV broadcast. Dragon Ball Z Kai is only 16:9 in Japan on television, and the 16:9 cropping they use for Dragon Ball Z Kai is selectively cropping the image. They're not just hauling off, chopping off 20% of the footage. They're selectively cropping, you know, the scenery so the footage doesn't look too terrible compared to the Dragon Ball Z orange bricks. Pros and cons. Dragon Ball Z on Blu-ray, great quality, true HD sound, no filler, faster paced story, better script, English dub and voice acting. Cons. Recasted of character voices and switching of the old animation and new effects can be jarring. So yeah, Dragon Ball Z Kai on Blu-ray. I am very fond of the new recasts. Some people are, some people not, but hey, you can always buy the original Dragon Ball Z in Orange Brick or Dragon Box. My most preferred Dragon Ball Z set will have to be all three. The bricks, the Dragon Box, and Dragon Ball Z Kai on Blu-ray. Now you may be thinking, why in the hell are you going to buy Dragon Ball Z 3 times? Well, first of all, I am an otaku and a collector, so of course I'm going to buy everything Dragon Ball Z related. I'm not really wasting my money because I'm a collector, and the fact that, you know, I'm a grown-ass man, I can buy whatever I want to buy, but the fact is that everybody rebuys Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, so why not do it with Dragon Ball Z? Each box set has their pros and cons and differences. If you want the Bruce Faulkner soundtrack, get the Orange Bricks. If you want the high quality Dragon Box image, get the Dragon Boxes. And if you want a much better English dub script, high quality animation, get Dragon Ball Z Kai. Also no filler as well. I do wish the Dragon Boxes did have the Bruce Faulkner soundtrack so I can watch Dragon Ball Z in 4:3 like it was on Cartoon Network, but hey, it's not going to really bother me because I'm collecting all three. Anyway, I'm B-Dub the Anime Master. Hope you all enjoyed. This was Dragon Ball Z season sets versus Dragon Box versus Kai. So, which version are you going to buy? Tell me in the comments. Peace out, everybody.